Something was always burning around the old whore. Eruk just had to have fire. Whether or not it was good or bad could come down to the wind. So they hadn't thought it too concerning as they walked and talked quietly between themselves. Tani really only had one thing he truly needed from this old place. Aziz hadn't expected to hear that, both relieved that they wouldn't be trying to navigate this madhouse of a lower city while carrying much, but now also wondering what all the fuss was coming down here. What was so important? Tani hadn't explained much about his upbringing, since it wasn't exactly a time he liked discussing if he could help it. It was just one mishap or another offset by some manner of good luck. He had, for example, the misfortune of being born to a woman who was at the absolute bottom of society, who truly hated him. She had said so herself on one of the many nights where the alcohol wasn't dulling the crazy. He hadn't been raised by her, not in the slightest. Instead, another woman had raised him. Her name was Roxana, and he had been very lucky to have had her near him. She was who he would much rather think of as his mother. He just had the bad luck of knowing exactly where he came from. Both his mother and Roxana being slaves, Tani was himself already born into slavery. However, there had been no interest in him, as he had been deemed a runt. Roxana had defied the wishes of the slavers when she kept him, and she was eventually punished for it by being sold to a caravan in which rude men with strange narrow eyes and many rings lusted openly after her foreign, exotic Shemitish beauty. His blood boiled thinking back to how they had handled and inspected her. When he got mad like this, he could almost smell it burning inside of him. Or maybe that was just the local char. Seemed to be that kind of night. Embers were about, something nearby was setting the mood. Regardless, they had bought her, and claimed she was to be taken with them back to where they came from. A place called Yamatai, in the east. And Tani had said that someday he was going to go over there and bring her back. Aziz had never heard of a place called Yamatai, and Tani said it wasn't on any of the maps he had ever seen either, and that it was far past even Hircania. Aziz didn't really know where that was either. Tani explained it too was far away, but Yamatai was further. Maps existed, he just needed to find them, and then he'd be off. Before she had been taken and pulled from his arms, Roxana had given him a bracelet made from a lock of her silken black hair. That was what they were going to retrieve, as he had always kept it nearby. But it had fallen out when he had packed his bedroll in which it was tucked. He felt stupid, but Aziz told him it was very sweet, him going back for it. As they turned the corner, Tani's face turned ashen white as the night revealed the source of the burning scent that had filled the air.